Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Winter Games 2017 Coaches Go-To meeting. We hope these are helpful for everybody. We know it saves you from having to come to a meeting, but we also know that we've learned that it's time for us to have some face-to-face stuff. So when we talk about our team sport this year, you'll hear that that's what has already happened. But in the meantime, we are definitely looking forward to seeing everybody at the Winter Games on Saturday and Sunday, March 4th and 5th. If you haven't recognized my voice, I'm Lori Jean Hannon, and like I said, really looking forward to seeing everybody. So, that being said, this video will be up on our website until the 2017 Winter Games, but we really need to ask you all to please complete the video and by clicking the link at the end. This gives us in our department a chance to know who's seen this information, so if we have to get it out to somebody, we know who might not have had it already. Once you've tried the website version, which is the recorded one, if you want to review it at any time, you can also go on to the website and look it up as a PowerPoint format. But if that's the only way you look at it, you still need to let Rachel Polanski know that you have seen it. But again, please try it through the webinar format first. Okay, a few technical difficulties here before we get moving. There we go. All right, so just to review, all of our venues and sports are the same. We're very fortunate to be back at all of the same locations again. So Powder Ridge Mountain Park and Resort will host our alpine skiing and snowboarding. Eversource in Windsor will be cross-country skiing and snowshoes. The International Skating Center of Connecticut, figure skating and speed skating. Pratt & Whitney Hangar in East Hartford for unified floor hockey and floor hockey skills. New thing this year, all of our traditional floor hockey teams will not be coming to our games, but they will compete in the Special Olympics Massachusetts Winter Games the very next weekend. Farmington Valley Gymnastics Center is back to host gymnastics, and we have a couple of other opportunities for you throughout the Winter Games. You'll hear about traditional basketball, and you'll also hear about unified curling as we go through this webinar. And now I'm going to turn it over to Morgan to talk about housing, dinner, and dances.
Hi everybody, it's Morgan Powell. Just a few things about housing for Winter Games. We are going to be at multiple locations this year, and I will be sending out your email room configurations to all teams. A reminder to have the entire team send in one housing registration, not multiple. We are going to have our banquets and dances at the Farmington Marriott and Hilton Garden Inn. The theme will be country western. And the movie at Farmington Marriott will be The Sound of Music. Hotels are going to try and keep teams on the same floor as much as possible. Just a quick reminder that all athletes, any chaperones, coaches, there's no alcohol or smoking at any event or venue. And just be aware of the athletes' behavior at dances. Just help out and try and keep it appropriate.
Hi everyone, Rachel Polanski here. I just want to let you know about the transportation survey for our buses for Winter Games. This is a tentative schedule of what it will look like for Saturday and Sunday. So I will be sending this out via email. If the local coordinator or the coach can send this back to me and just note the number of passengers you will have on a bus for a particular venue and sport, that would be great. Thanks.
Hi, it's Sarah Pearson for Alpine and Snowboarding. Once again, we will be at Powder Ridge Mountain Park and Resort in Middlefield. Our sponsor is Otis, and our competition directors are Brad and Jason. New this year, it's important that you note that we will not be offering the 10-meter walk or the glide event due to lack of participation. So please, when you register your athletes, please make sure you don't put them in these events. Super G is the best of 2 runs, and slalom and giant slalom is the combined score of 2 runs. All disqualifications will receive a participation ribbon, and please make sure that all athletes are wearing helmets when they're on the mountain. Again, we will not need to use the shuttle service. All vehicles are welcome to park on site. Training sites have already been established at Mount Southington, Powder Ridge, Mohawk, and Ski Sundown, and all teams have already been contacted by myself. Everything has been set up. Registration and food tent will be at the base of the mountain, And also, we noted in last year, being at Powder Ridge, that at the bottom of the advanced and the intermediate course, it must be kept open. There's a lot of spectators that congregate in this area, and it's very unsafe. This year we'll have designated spectator areas, and they'll be clearly marked, and we hope that everyone will adhere to this rule. Rental equipment is available for all athletes at Powder Ridge. Pick up equipment between 8:30 and 10 a.m. both days. Just go on the website right there. Everything is done online. You can go in, register your athletes for the rentals. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Coaches must bring their own equipment. Athletes will use mini field lift and middle field lift depending upon their events, and only athletes, coaches, and volunteers will be on the mountain will receive a lift ticket. Athletes cannot run the course before events, and all bibs must be returned to SOCT to avoid a $10 fee for missing bib. Coaches training will be addressed later in the presentation. There's a couple maps here for you guys to look at. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. Thanks so much.
Hi, Morgan again. I'm going to go over some information for cross country and snowshoes. Our competition director for cross country skiing is Diana, and competition director for snowshoes is Sandy. Just a reminder, all athletes are to have their own equipment. Coaches should check to see if the skis need to be waxed. Teams are asked to follow all schedules for both time trials on Saturday and final competition on Sunday. There are no time trials for relays. They will be based on the 2016 scores submitted, and by age and gender to the best of the competition committee's ability. Any changes to relays must be reported first thing Saturday morning or to SOCT prior to the games. Co-ed heats will be developed as needed. Only officials and athletes are allowed on the course unless the athlete has a visual impairment. An athlete will be disqualified if he or she impedes, obstructs, or pushes another athlete to gain an advantage. He or she cuts the race course short or does not finish for cross-country skiing in their designated lane. If a skier falls during the time trials, they must return to the staging area and enter a new heat. If a skier falls during competition, they have 2 minutes to stand and start skiing again. Skiers must have both skis on to complete the 100-meter and longer races. They can finish with one ski in the 25-meter and 50-meter, should that be the case. If there is a time conflict with an athlete in one of their races, please let the officials know so they know where to find the athlete when their name is called. In snowshoes, an athlete may not progress forward more than 3 meters unless they have both snowshoes attached to their feet. One coach per team is asked to assist their athletes with putting on and taking off snowshoes. Competition area maps will be available day of once snow is made and courses are laid out. Available snow conditions will determine which competitions will be conducted. Competition committees will do their best to ensure that all athletes have an event to participate in. We ask for your patience should we have to do any last-minute changes due to snow conditions. Do not leave the venue for lunch in case we need to change the schedule due to course conditions or weather issues. Dependent upon snow and course layout, waterfall start lines will be set for curved courses and relays. Please train your athletes for staggered starts and to stay in their lanes. Snowshoe walking events are walking only. Athletes will be disqualified if they run. Please use proper etiquette when addressing race officials. Teams will be allowed to park one vehicle on site. Off-site parking for all of the vehicles will be at the Hartford, located on the corner of Blue Hills Avenue Extension and Day Hill Road. There will be one-way traffic entering the facility on Blues Hill Avenue Extension and exiting onto Day Hill Road. Athlete registration, Olympic Town, and medical services are all inside the building. Everyone is asked to stay within the designated perimeters of available space when inside. Tent City will include lunch tent, awards tent, and photo tent. Tables and chairs will be set up in the lunch tent. Once your team is finished, please move out of the tent to allow for more teams to be able to sit and eat. No skis, snowshoes, or equipment should be inside the tent. Opening ceremonies will be in the open space area in Tent City. Overnight ski and snow storage will be available in a locked pod. The annual Bud Myers Award for Sportsmanship application is included. Next couple of slides. Please nominate an athlete from your program. The deadline is February 15th. And here is a map for the tent village setup. And then this is just the Sportsmanship Award reminder, February 15th. And I'll hand it over to Rachel.
Hi guys, Rachel back here to talk about figure and speed skating. We will be back at the International Skating Center of Connecticut in Simsbury. Our speed skating competition directors are Chase Hughes and Emily Goss. Preliminaries will take place on Saturday and our final competitions will be on Sunday. For figure skating, our competition director is Debbie Abramitis. Just a couple notes for figure skating: music does not allow vocals. Warm-ups, compulsories, and skills will take place on Saturday morning, and individual programs with music will be on Sunday. For awards for figure skating, they will be upstairs. Please let families know that we cannot do awards in the Olympic rink due to public skating times. Also, for both venues, we have limited space, so please just allow families to be in the awards area when their athlete is receiving their award, because it's very tight quarters and we want to accommodate everyone and let families be there to see their athletes get their awards. Awards will be on Sunday following each speed skating race and then after lunch for figure skaters. All athletes for both figure and speed skating are to have their skates on prior to opening ceremonies, unless they want to sit in the stands on the far side of the rink and not skate in with their team. Speed skaters should wear a helmet, long sleeves, long pants, knee pads, shin guards, cut-resistant neck protectors, cut-resistant gloves, or mittens. And here's a map of the venues: the Olympic rink where the opening ceremonies is and figure skating, and the NHL rink where speed skating is. And I'm going to turn it over to Katie Dennett for floor hockey.
Hey everybody, it's Katie here. We had our coaches meeting already, and so I want to thank all the coaches who came to that. I think it was a really productive meeting. Joyce, the competition director, Laura Jean, and myself have a call sometime this week, and an email will be sent out to you with any final instructions, such as the rule modifications that we talked about. The rest of the stuff here, obviously the competition director is Joyce Stilley and the head official Gary. Divisioning tournament will be held on Sunday, February 26th. We'll have an 8 a.m. start. It's obviously unified team play only because traditional is not there. We're not having traditional competition this year. All traditional will be at Special Olympics Massachusetts, should you want to go. Teams should bring a bagged lunch or plan to purchase lunch from the available food truck at the divisioning tournament. No sticks or equipment will be allowed in the museum. All individual skills events will take place on both days of the Winter Games. Skills is not at the divisioning tournament. Athletes must wear helmets with a full face mask, gloves, shin guards, and running shoes. Skill athletes should also wear helmets. And as we had discussed in our meeting, for the skills athletes, the shin guards and gloves will now be optional. The minimum team competition is 11 and maximum 16 for your rosters. And lunch will be provided at the Winter Games, and the food truck is available for families again. Here's a lovely map of our amazing facility. And now back to Morgan.
Hi, Morgan again. Just some information about gymnastics. The event will take place on Sunday morning. Registration is at 9. Opening ceremonies will be at 9:30. And then from 10 to 1 p.m. will be competition, lunch, and awards. Our competition directors are Christine and Aaron. Male gymnasts are to wear tank tops or leotards and or t-shirts that are tucked in with white gymnastic shorts. Female gymnasts are to wear a leotard, have bare legs and bare feet, or gymnastic slippers. Flesh-colored tights with bare feet are permitted but not recommended. Bandages are allowed as long as they're securely fastened. Floor exercises and bars may take place at the same time. Vault and balance beam may also take place at the same time. Parking will be available on site. Food and beverages will be available for families and spectators to purchase. Lunch will be provided for athletes and coaches following the competition, and water will be available throughout the competition for athletes. And here's a map of the Farmington Gymnastics Center. And now I'm going to hand it over to Sue.
Hi everybody, it's traditional basketball time again. This is Sue Moore. I want to let you know that we are working on trying to secure another venue for this event. but that is not final yet. And when it is, I will be sending out an email to all of you with final instructions on how the tournament will run and what venues we will be using. What I would like to do with your registration this year that's due on the 22nd is please list, there's a little spot up there, the division that you think your team belongs in. And so that we can try to division as best we can for this event. Also, you will be getting information on a basketball jamboree that will be held in January at Mitchell College. And again, once that event is finalized, I will email that information out to you as well. And for curling this year, you can see our practice dates are February 4th, March 11th and 25th, and April 1st. The Bonspiel will be April 8th. And David Polino on staff in our department will be overseeing this event. So please contact him if you plan on coming and to get more information.
Hey, Katie York here in for Caitlin Dacus, who's out of town. There's her contact information right there if you wanted to get in touch with her. Just a reminder that we're going to be having health promotions activities at the cross-country snowshoeing venue at Eversource in Windsor and at floor hockey at Pratt & Whitney in East Hartford. Keep a lookout at the coach's handbook because she will elaborate as to what's going to be happening once that launches. So if you want to get in touch with Caitlin, there's her contact info. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. It's registration again. Winter Games intense, and that includes traditional basketball. Please have that in on the 19th, especially for basketball, so I know how many teams that we're looking at. All of our registrations are up on the website. And so for registrations for floor hockey, figure skating, speed skating, cross country, snowshoe, gymnastics, and housing are all due on February 8th. So you have lots of time, so please try to get that in on time. Traditional basketball will be due February 22nd. Registration materials, even though it says except for Alpine is up there. If you're making some changes to that Alpine registration that you've already sent to Sarah, you can include a new one and make sure that's into her by February 8th. Everything can go to the registration email. Again, insurance requests always go to Morgan, and our coach's handbook will be up by February 8th. So our intent form, I'm hoping you guys already know all this already, is up on the website under forms. And this is where everything is always located. So you've got the registration, the intent to participate. It's all right there for you, as well as the 2017 registration calendar, which you can print out and keep next to your desk and share with your coaches. Please, when you're doing your intents, make sure if you're doing cross country, if you're doing snowshoeing and traditional basketball, under the number of events, put 3. And then under each sport, give us each of that, all of that information there as best you can.
Sorry, I'm back. Katie York here again. Okay, these are just some friendly reminders. Just want to make sure that everybody's using the new Class A form and that the forms are being filled out completely. I've noticed a trend lately where people are just kind of sort of filling out forms and then handing them in to me, and then I have to send them back. So just please make sure that everything is filled out completely. Just another reminder that I've been working with a new background check vendor called Verified Volunteers, and the background checks take longer to come back than they used to. So, if it's a clean one, it should come back pretty quickly. But if you have a generic name, it could take days or even a week to come back. So just want to remind you that we're not able to process last minute forms, which includes group home staffing changes. We're just not able to do it. I need at least a week's lead time to make any changes. So just remember that as we're going through the season if you had any changes. Also, a reminder that we have our web Class A forum. We've got a form that is for new volunteers, and that one has 3 different steps. And I just want to make sure that everybody's filling out all 3 steps. There's the step where verified volunteers, where you do the background check. There's a step where you do the protective behaviors training. And then there's a final page that's got biographical info that we need here at SOCT. So just make sure that you're doing all 3 steps and not just doing step 1 and then clicking out of it. And then we also have links for existing volunteers to rescreen themselves. So if you have any questions about any of this, there's my contact info. Give me a call or shoot me an email. And thank you very much.
Hey, it's Katie Dennett back to talk a little bit about coaches education and some upcoming trainings. We have a lot coming up. Alpine skiing will be held on Saturday, January 28th at Mohawk Mountain. There will be a charge for the lift tickets. This will be charged to the coach and or local program if you'd like to pay for it out of your local program account. Cross-country skiing and snowshoe will be held on Saturday, January 7th at Winding Trails in Farmington. Again, if you are not bringing your own equipment and you would like to rent equipment, you will be charged for that, either to the coach or to the local program account. Speed skating and figure skating will happen in January. The date is to be determined. We are just finishing up setting all that up with the venue. Something that's not listed on here that we are going to be holding this year, which will be Sunday, January 22nd. We will be holding a basketball and swimming training at the Westport Weston YMCA. The reason why it's not listed is because it's not completely done, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. So make sure you mark that date off. Look out for some emails from me to give you more information on all of these trainings and the registration links. The Winter Games sport rules can be found on our website. They are under the Coach's Corner. If you look under sports, and then we have the rules, and we also have the coaching guides, which is a really, really great tool for you coaches to use. It gives you different skills and practice ideas, so I highly suggest you guys take a look at those. Please remember that all head coaches must be certified through the concussion training. You can do that through 2 separate venues. You can go to the CDC or the National Federation of High Schools. Just make sure that once you are done taking that course, you must email the completed certificates to Rachel Polanski, and her email is listed. Again, it shows you where exactly to find all of those links. And again, the sports rules as well. And there they are. And really, I put those coaching guides up for a purpose. They are really, truly very helpful if you're looking for new ideas at practices. Please go ahead and take a look at those.
All right, everybody, if you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to contact any one of us at any time. Any question overall, just give me a call or an email. Alpine snowboarding would be Sarah, figure and speed skating is Rachel, cross-country skiing, snowshoes, and gymnastics all go to Morgan. Katie Dennett will take the floor hockey questions. Dave Polino will do the curling. Sue's got traditional basketball, and we all know Sue is our guru on registration, so you can always contact her for any of those questions as well. Katie York for volunteers and Caitlin Dacus for healthy athletes. We want to thank you so much for taking the time to go through this. We may have gone through it really quickly for you. We tried to give you a little bit more information this year. Again, please don't hesitate to call us, email, whatever, if you have any questions. We are hoping that we have snow this year, but we want everybody to be safe and driving to practices and driving to the games as well. So we will see you at the Winter Games, and happy holidays, everybody.